Hello and welcome back to the 4 a.m. report. If you've been following along with this series, this is the fourth in a series of 4 on the subject of using your podcasts to up your publishing on your website a whole lot more. And so far we've covered off, how to make it count in the writing medium, because that's what the search engine gods recognize. We've covered off how to be using different formats and making sure that that's published on the website with writing support so that you're covering off that. And then we also talked about how to cross-populate. So if you're sending strong properties in terms of emails or social, how is it that you can bring that together and publish on your website as well? Now, today I want to talk about, what are the pitfalls? Does this method of publishing, if you're feeling resistance to it and you're like, oh, can we just be publishing the same thing everywhere? Isn't there any consequence to that? Won't people get bored? Is this allowed? Well, no, people will not get bored because not even 1/10 of your audience is seeing it at any given time. And yes, it is allowed, but there are some caveats that you want to make sure. When you're referencing material, you want to cross-link, and powerful cross-linking within your own website is an SEO yes. So if you look at someone like Neil Patel, and there's more details in this collection of clips that we've curated. If you look at people like Neil Patel, his blog posts are full of links, and about 50% of those links are to other blog posts within his own website. So think about making sure you do have quality, but really aim for an 80%, because nobody has 100%, not even the New York Times or any other publication. But, you want to aim for a consistent 80%. And the more often you find yourself repeating yourself, that's probably an indication that you're landing on message, that you're landing on brand. And if people are responding to that, then keep saying the same thing. And the real protections you need is to make sure that people understand it's your content and that you're not being douchey by replicating it over and over again. So make sure to cross-link. We've curated a bunch of clips of Will Lamont and I having conversations around this subject. Have a listen to see if you find more lessons within this. Welcome to the 4 a.m. report. On this podcast, we dish about fresh-pressed, fun marketing. If you're stressed out and awake at night again, wondering what to do, you found your joy. I'm your host, Susan Diaz, podcasting founder, humor junkie, observer of human behavior patterns, and mom. Each week, we break down the latest headlines at the intersection of marketing and entertainment.
If I was listening to this as a entrepreneur, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, cool, I can see this. I can see how instead of 1 blog post, this could be 3 blog posts, that stand alone on their own quite well. Are there any pitfalls? Are there any no-nos for using this type of method to populate my blog posts? Should I be worried about a character word limit, a word minimum? Should I be worried about repeating myself? I'd be concerned that I might maybe repeat myself too much. I would
cross-link. I think what you do want to do is, I'll deal with that repeat thing in one quick second. But what I would say is cross-linking and say, listen, this one point is a part of a wider blog post on this subject. And then cross-link to that, and then have the series. If you go look at the marketing bigwigs like Neil Patel or whatever, the number of pieces that he has that are cross-linked to each other is why he's at the top of every single SEO list if you go and look for digital marketing, right? So essentially, whenever there's no such thing as too much publishing, in my opinion. Obviously, you want quality. You want to keep it at an 80%. Don't aim for 100%. Nobody gets there. But, keeping it at a solid 80%, clearly understanding who your audience is, not just throwing rubbish up, but fully utilizing and cross-linking. I think it's magic. Everybody should be publishing way more than they are right now, in my opinion.
Excellent. Okay, so there you go, folks. A simple way to up your publishing on your blog. Susan, before we go, what is there kind of a goal that we should be aiming for? Are you suggesting that we aim to be publishing every day on our blog? Or is that something where if I'm right now publishing once every week, trying to do one blog post a week, what would be a great step up?
I'd go
for
to
that?
2 and then pick it up to maybe 3. One a week is actually pretty good. I think not a lot of people are there usually, so 1 a week is a good start. If you're already at 1, I think trying to make it 2 is really useful. So if you've got a podcast, for example, and you have a blog post that's coming out of your podcast itself is one publishing thing on your website. The blog post that goes with it is a second publishing thing on your website, and then potentially breaking it out into either a visual or a video blog, or even like a series. And then that's where I think the systematization comes in, is you should put, like we do it, and we do it for our clients, is you have a day of the week, right? So on Mondays you do blog posts, on Tuesdays you do podcast, on Wednesdays you do some type of alternative thing. I think if you really put those dates down and stick to them, then you can try to add an extra days. Thank you for listening to the 4am Report. If you like what you're hearing, we'd love if you left us a 5-star review.